Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, and holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing. If you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for
That's one good thing about having me around, Sarah, is that I am often the most late. Do you know what's funny is that I am not late to things often in real, like in, I don't know, I just have a hard time getting started. It's actually because I have to stop listening to music. I've thought about this, but we persist every single time. In fact, I got an email the other day that explained to me, hey Paisley, baby, you have gone ahead and posted 750 fucking times to your YouTube channel. Wow, in 2 years. That's almost once a day. William, you're probably right there. I would say I got a whole list of reasons why nobody wants this. No, I'm just joking. Anyways, I hope that everybody's doing well today. We are going to get quickly into it because I have places to be later. And so, forgive me. I know, Bill, that's really the truth. And Bill, I have not forgotten about you asking me to change the neon. In fact, it occurs to me every time I see it now, just so you know. And I'm looking into it. No, Julie, you're right on time. But I also have to talk to... Oh, I have cookies in the oven. Oh my god. Okay, they're beeping. I forgot I put them in there. So we're gonna get this started. We're doing 2 cases tonight. I know, Bill. Oh, you're so funny and so fucking punny too. I love it. Captures. Okay, give me 1 second. I made my chocolate chip cookies. I always make the same ones. I mean, they're so fucking good. Everybody loves them. I've made 2 dozen today. Let's just get this going. It's Thurston. That's what we're watching. I've recorded so much court again today. There it is. There it is. There it is. Half baked. Sort of. I've been cleaning all day. Also, the asshole that lives with me went to Costco. He messaged me. I said, oh, don't forget eggs. I really need to get the cookies. But I said, don't forget eggs. He goes, I already spent $450. I'm leaving. And I was like, bruh? Oh my god. We're going to have so much food in this house. Tell me why. Tell me why. Virtually nothing came in. I'll tell you what came in a moment. But I literally gasped. Anyways.
The reasons for my decision on that. Thank you.
Okay, here we go. I'm gotta get these out of
and the next case is going to be 2-party case. That's Mia Milton and Tay Perks. That's number 25-148. All right, I see Mia Milton there, and I see Tay Perks there. Okay. All right, so the way these hearings will go, and this will apply to everybody, what I'll do is I'll swear the parties in, and then I'll hear from the petitioner first. The petitioner is the person who started the case. The petitioner has the burden of proving to the court by preponderance of the evidence that they're entitled to the anti-harassment or protection order that they're asking for. After I hear from the petitioner, then I'll hear from the respondent and they can tell me their side of it. And after I've heard from both sides, I'll make a decision as to whether an order will be granted or whether it won't be. And I'll explain to you the reasons for my decision on that. During the time we're doing these hearings, if the other person in the case says things that you don't agree with, if you don't believe they're true, I want you to just hold on and don't interrupt the other person. Let them tell me their side of it. And please keep in mind that you either will get your chance to tell me your side of it in just a minute, or you've already told me your side of it, so I already know, but it's important not to interrupt the other person. I may ask you questions from time to time, and
It's so important not to interrupt, but it's also important for us to say happy birthday to Beverly. And Miss Courtney from Saturday night, I will sing to both of you guys here in a minute. And don't worry, we are going to listen to Angela's case tonight. We are. But that's why we have to hurry up. I'll sing in a moment, but happy birthday, Beverly.
I do that just to make sure that I understand what you're telling me, that I understand what the issues are, and so that I can keep your hearing focused on the things that I'm going to actually need to know in order to be able to resolve the case for you. Also, for those of you who have filed a petition or you filed any documents or exhibits on your own, it's not necessary for you to repeat everything that you've already put down in writing. The things that you've written down and filed with the court, those are already part of the record in the case, and I can use those as part of my decision in your case. So don't feel like you have to repeat everything out loud that you've already said in writing. You can refer me back to things that are written or things that are filed in the record if you need to in order to explain your case. That's fine. Okay, so with that, then I'm going to ask Ms. Milton and Ms. Perks to please raise your right hands. And do both of you swear that the testimony you give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, Ms. Milton, you're the petitioner. Go ahead.
So do you want me to start from beginning to end on why?
Yeah, for example, you wrote down in here in your petition the reason that you think that the court should issue an anti-harassment order against Ms. Perks. So why don't you start with what happened that makes you think that I should do that?
Me and Miss Perks were dating for a couple of years and it did not end amicably. And
They dated for a couple years. This bag is the size of my torso. And that's saying something. I don't actually like these. I will eat zero. Absolutely zero of these Hawkins cheesies. So good choice on his part. If he was trying to get snacks, I will not eat. And I believe that is probably the case. So 36 sacks, 36 snack packs. I didn't think they sold this except at fucking Halloween. But here I am, proven wrong. Ridiculous. Beyond ridiculous. I love how they've made the bag. It's so big. I mean, the bag is so big. You guys don't have Hawkins cheesies? I'm sorry, what? I don't feel like we can fucking explain that. They're what I call the crunchy cheesies. You know, you can get cheese puffs that are shaped like a puff. And then these are, no, Cheetos. I don't know. I don't know what those are. I don't like these. I think they taste like dusty dirt. to be honest. They're not my thing. I really don't like them. I would never eat them. I would certainly, absolutely, you would have to, this bag would have to be $3 for me to buy it. $3 fucking. And even then, I would literally hesitate. I'd be like, I don't know if $3 is worth it. I'm fucking absolutely upfront about that. I will literally never even eat one of these. Especially now that I dropped them and kicked them. Seriously though, I don't know where they came from. Crazy.
Had in the beginning stated that like I did not want to speak with her any further because like we're not in agreement, and I felt like we were never going to be in agreement. She continuously has messaged me by her means to get in contact with me because she feels like I owe her a reason on why we broke up, amongst other things. And I had already stated I don't want to talk with her. And she has continuously emailed me, messaged me from other people's phones. And I, at some point, maybe last year, sorry, it's kind of blurry in terms of dates, but I had um, spoke with her mother and told her, can you please tell her to stop contacting me? Like I've already stated, I don't want to be contacted. I don't want to speak with her, or I would have to go to the authorities. And she continued anyways. And she has um, showed it to my family member's house unannounced. And I go to this family member's house very often, so I'm not knowing if she's going to show up whatsoever. And so this past Mother's Day, a lot of the emails amped up and her being angry and angry with me for not talking with her in alleged abuse. Um, I emailed her again and told her I don't want to speak with her after all of that. And she continuously emails me, and it's basically threatening to make an expose about me and sent me links and told me how she's been talking to other people about our past relationship and streamers and how she's trying to get all this evidence on me and talk with these people.
Streamers? What are you talking about, ma'am? Also, look, this is the these are what the cheesies look like inside. They're like if you sucked up a cheesy. Hold on. Hawkins, what did I call them? Hawkins cheesies. These are something you get for like Halloween that you don't really want. Look, somebody pulled out the ruler. 4 inches is fine. Except when it comes to these. They're disgusting. I really don't like them. I don't.
Um, and basically like threatened to leak nude images, and she has sent me that image. And so I'm basically asking for this so she can stop contacting me. I don't want to speak with her. I don't owe her anything. And I don't want an image out there without my consent as well.
Fair enough. Have we told the story before about my intimate images being released without my permission, which I find offensive because I sell my intimate images? How rude. How fucking rude is that? You're giving away my shit for free? Absolutely not. And somebody came to me and told me, they're like, I saw your tits. I saw your butt. I was like, what? Oh. They got taken down very quickly, I will say.
All right. All right. Is there anything else that you need to say before I hear Miss Perks's side of this?
Yes, we need to talk to Mikey. He's sad because he could be in Florida, but instead he's here. Same goes, Mikey. Same goes. But we're so glad you're here. I hope you're feeling okay. I was worried that you're sick, too. Your family's sick. You had to cancel your trip. It's terrible. I'm so sorry. Please actually take some time off and rest and recuperate, though. I think everybody in the chat would agree about that.
I can't think of anything right now.
Okay, then I'm gonna let her tell me her side of it and we'll make a decision here. All right, Ms. Perks, why don't you go ahead and tell me your side of it?
Oh my god, $5 is the amount for a cookie. It says it's your first super chat, which I know is a lie. Because you sent me my first super chat. Also, Streamlabs, bruh. Where are you? What happened? Oh my gosh. Carla's in Florida right now. Carla, can you not rub it in? He was supposed to go to SeaWorld, okay? Dreams were supposed to come true.
I have prepared statements, so I'll be looking down at those. I don't mean to be disrespectful at all, but I'm a 125-pound epileptic that doesn't carry any firearms, and Mia is more than twice my weight, taller than me, a registered gun carrier. There's no way for me to physically harm her, nor has she and my sister ever digitally met, or met ever, not digitally, not physically, and my sister doesn't even know what she looks like. Mia has no reason to be looking over her shoulder in public, um, nor do I look for her. Um, I don't have any intention of meeting with her without her consent, nor do if I ever met her in public, I wouldn't do anything to her. I couldn't do anything to her, nor have I ever made a public scene. Um, I'm honestly shocked to hear that she's afraid of me, Your Honor. She claims that the last time she spoke to me was in October 2023, but I verifiably have evidence that not only were we speaking in 2024, but she was still asking for me for money in the text messages. Mia claims that I still had her key after moving out, but if that were the case, then I would still have that key today. And that's not true. I handed back her apartment key the day I moved out. I don't possess any pornographic videos or sexual images of her. The only image I sent back to her was an image she posted on her public OnlyFans for public consumption that she temporarily did in 2019 to mid 2020. There's no full nudity in the picture, and as far as I'm aware, Your Honor, she never did. She never took any full nudity pictures or full sexual videos, and if she did, I'm unaware of it, and I'm
Well, that's more than I can say for me, Tay. Just saying. But I'm not really ashamed of that. And no, this is not my grandmother's shirt, but I love the sentiment. No, this is actually a pretty cute dress. As usual, I'm wearing a dress. No panties. Oops.
fully aware I shouldn't have sent that image back. And I was invited into her grandma's residence. I even said, I don't want to impose, but she invited me in. And yeah, and then I have another prepared statement. I'll try to make it short. But while we were in a relationship, Mia love bombed me. She kissed me for the first time. She took my virginity. She gave me a lot of marijuana, a lot of alcohol for the first time, as you can see in the pictures. She proposed to me after 3 months. I had never been in a relationship while she had. And worst of all, she would give me these ultimatums and tasks to complete, or else we would break up. and that would mess with my mind. All that stress caused me to lose hair, lose weight over time, become sweaty out of nerves, and develop epilepsy, which I did not have prior, and my neurologist believes it was out of stress. And I was afraid of Mia. She would raise her voice, as you can see in the video. Um, she, sorry, let me see here. When things didn't go her way, she would either yell, or she would basically kiss me, love on me, and um, yeah, that's the extent of it. And I was very much wanting to get in contact with her because even my neurologist, sorry, my therapist has said that is why a lot of my mental issues has started, and that has greatly affected me. And that she is basically afraid of me for emails. And when I visited her grandma's house, it was last year. And that's the extent of it. I haven't visited anyone else in her family, nor do I have any intentions to. And that's, yeah, I don't have anything else to say.
I do.
Thank you, Ms. Burks. Okay. Well, like I said in the beginning, I have to be able to find by preponderance of the evidence that the person petitioning for a order is entitled to that order. In this case, it could be a petition for anti-harassment or a protection order. It sounds like, based on the fact that there was a previous relationship, that the allegations kind of more point towards potentially domestic violence. And I haven't heard from both of you in this. It's clear, I read the exhibits too. It's clear to me that things have obviously not gone well, that, breaking up is obviously traumatic and difficult.
Breaking up is hard to do. Sorry, I can't resist. I think that's actually a mental illness that I have, where I have to sing the song. Erica, do you have that too? Because breaking up is hard to do. And seizures are dangerous. Scissoring, not so much. Fun though.
Difficult, and some people respond to that differently. And I've got, my radar is up for things that concern me, like stalking behavior or threats of harm, threats to disclose intimate images. Things like that are harmful to other people and form the basis of a protection order. In this case, though, haven't heard from both of you, I'm not able to find by a preponderance of the evidence that harassment occurred or that domestic violence occurred. So in this instance, at this time, I'm going to deny the request for an order.
The second best big D around.
Just because I don't believe that the petitioners carried the burden by a preponderance of the evidence.
Big D,
So
guess
Ms.
what?
Milton, today,
That's
your
it. That's
request
all.
for a protection order will be denied.
Okay.
Okay, Big D, guess what? Zippity doo dah, zippity day. She's got her hand on her chin all of the way. But we're skipping all these. Maybe we'll watch them tomorrow. But we are getting ourselves down to the nitty gritty. These ladies.
It's going to be Michelle Armstrong and Angela Edwards.
Oh my God, I can come when I pick the place so perfectly.
Let's make sure you're here. I see Miss Edwards here. I see Miss Armstrong here. Okay. Now, in the case 25-176, Ms. Armstrong is the petitioner. And Ms. Edwards is the respondent. And then in number 25-198, Ms. Edwards is the petitioner. And Ms. Armstrong is the respondent. So you've each got petitions against the other pending and on this calendar. So what I'll do, probably make it easier for both of you, is just to hear them both at the same time. I know that I'll decide them separately on their merits, but it's probably easier for you to just go ahead and talk to me about both cases together and instead of just doing two separate hearings that both involve you. So, all right, I'm gonna have both of you raise your right hands, please. And do you both swear the testimony you give in these cases will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes, I do.
All right, and Ms. Armstrong, I'm gonna have you go ahead and go first. And like I said, you can address both your petition and Ms. Edwards's petition.
Thank you. I would like to ask the courts of Thurston County for a 1-year protection order to be granted today. Angela has harassed me, my children, my family, and friends since she has moved in next door to me. There have been numerous small aggressive behaviors from Angela towards myself and my children. Over the years Angela moved in, the harassment has continued with increasing frequency and increasing aggression. A few years ago, Angela put up a fence, and near the south part of the fence, she has put up a rock wall. Angela has trespassed at my property beyond the fence and beyond the rock wall numerous times. She and her husband have made a habit of moving my trash can. Angela, in July of 2024, trespassed numerous times in a single day. Police were called more than once that day to remove Angela from my property. Her husband also removed her from the property that day. She was drunk. She was outside tending to her lawn. I was doing the same. I had my infant child with me. She went beyond the rock wall, beyond her fence to attempt to attack me. As a single mom, I had nobody there to help me, so I ran inside. I locked the door. She attempted breaking and entering into the home. She was banging on the door, trying to get in, using her hands, her feet to try to get in. She would not leave the porch. I called the police. She was screaming. She said she wanted to kidnap my child. She said that I didn't deserve custody of my child. Police responded. They told me that they had a conversation with her, telling her never to trespass onto my property, never to speak to me again. Police were called again. That's when they told me that they were going to take her to court about it. I was told that she was on probation for a year to not speak to me after that event. Since that event, she continues to harass me about my lawn, especially. She makes rude, snide comments about my lawn. She makes rude, snide comments towards my children. She kind of talks at me. I don't have any indication that I want to engage in a conversation with her. I have never indicated that I've wanted to engage in a conversation with her. I've done everything I can to ignore her and avoid her. She lives right next door to me. So she constantly concerns herself with my lawn, with my daily life. Very strange behavior from a neighbor that I've done everything I can to avoid. Her harassment is vindictive and it is directly attacking towards me and my family. She's attempted to have me evicted. The managers, we've had several throughout the years. They've let me know that she files complaint after complaint about my lawn, attempting to get me evicted. Not only is she harassing me, but she stalks me. She has installed a camera that faces directly at my vehicle. It doesn't face her property. It doesn't face any of her belongings. Her camera literally stalks me day and night. She records my vehicle. She records my lot. I feel like her camera should be faced on her lot, not faced on my lot. It's very creepy. very much feels like stalking behavior aimed specifically at myself and my children. I'd like to ask the courts to ask Angela to change the placement of her security camera to face her lot and face her property and face her vehicle, not stalking towards me and my children. After my temporary restraining order was approved, Angela quickly retaliated in an attempt to mimic my action and has filed a protection order petition against me. I've done everything in my power to avoid Angela. I didn't even know her last name. She knows the last names of my children. She knows the last names of the people who I'm near. I don't even know how she knows as much information as she does about me because, like I said, I've literally never even told her hello in my life. She talks at me, she yells at me. She's very snoopy. She tries talking to my friends. She tries getting information on me. She's a total complete stranger to me. And I've always noticed bullying behavior towards her, so I've done everything I can to avoid her. But having her next door, I see her often, and just yesterday she was outside listening to vulgar music that I don't want my kids to hear the lyrics of the music that she blasts really loud. And as I was taking my garbage out, she yelled at me, "Oh my God, are you serious?" And in her protection or in her petition, she says that she doesn't like where I put my trash can. She doesn't like where I park my vehicle on my own lot. And her and her husband have gone to the lengths of even moving my trash can. So she yelled at me just yesterday. She has a protection order against her. She's violating it. She has showed that she cannot follow the police's instructions to leave me and my children alone. I'm the protected person, and yet in her petition, she implies that she has an order against me, which is invalid, which we also verified at our last hearing. When this one was continued, we verified that there is no order for me to not speak to her because I literally never have. And that we would be hearing her petition today. She is hyper concerned about my life. She hyper monitors my behavior. She's extremely interested in the daily lives of me and my minor children. Her stalking behavior is directly directed at me and my children, and it worries me greatly because she seems extremely vindictive and aggressive, and her being an adult being aggressive towards children is very concerning behavior. Angela has attempted to get me evicted countless times in numerous different ways. She's also called the authorities on me like I said, I've done nothing to her, and the only time that she has had anything brought to my attention is her petition that I received notice for. Other than that, I've never had any sort of indication that I've done anything to even approach her. Like I said, I've done everything to avoid her. She When I do have my friends here, she instantly, or when I'm gone, she instantly tries to have conversations with them. She tries to convince them that I'm a prostitute. In her petition, anytime she talks to anybody about me, she instantly tries to claim that she knows that there's prostitution at my home, which is just very bizarre behavior to me because she doesn't know anything about me or my life, and yet she concludes a vast array of very negative things about me. Her aggression towards my children is admitted in her petition. She notes that she is agitated by my children when we do chalk art or when we play ball or when we play toys outside while we're minding our own business, living my own life. She accuses my child of, several different things in the petition, which shows that she has anger and aggression behavior towards my children. She claims that I have unauthorized tenants, which is none of her business. She continues to admit that she is annoyed by my daily behavior, which shows her feelings of aggression towards me, which are very concerning, especially considering she tried to attack me a year ago. And I really feel like she's just getting more and more agitated just for me just living my daily life. I noted that she's trying to contact my son when I have Washington State workers present. He's a baby and she admits in her petition that she tries to talk to him even when I have Washington State workers here. I'm involved in several programs, and the only people who are allowed to have authorization to speak to my children when I have Washington State workers around are people who have been approved by me and approved by the state. So her attempting to talk to my children, even with Washington State workers present, is a direct interference of my involvement with the programs because, like I said, she's supposed to have permission to be able to be associating herself with the children, especially when there's workers here. She has no respect for authority figures. She wouldn't respect the police telling her to leave me alone. She doesn't respect the fact when I have Washington State workers here, she won't leave me alone. She admits in her petition knowing that I do not want her to speak to my children. And she admits that she knows that I will redirect my toddler to tell him no if he's ever attempts to say hi to her because he's a baby. And he doesn't know that she has animosity towards me and my family, and she has attempted to harm me while holding my baby. And some people develop obsessive personality types, and Angela has demonstrated behaviors of an individual who will not stop harassing me and stalking me and my family, my minor children, without an active protection order in place. Angela's petition makes unsubstantiated and unexplained claims with no explanation for several of her requests. I've done everything in my power to avoid Angela, avoid everyone at her residence. Angela monitors me daily and has been for quite some time now. I do not want to be harassed and stalked by Angela, nor miss any more work due to having to attend things like this. I have priorities, which are providing for and protecting my children. I need to be attending work and not dealing with harassive neighbors. So I really feel that this order is very necessary. I would like to please ask you to grant a 1-year protection order against Angela for the safety of me and my children. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Edwards, can I hear your side of it?
Absolutely, Your Honor. So everything that Michelle just said is a complete out lie. She did not say one true statement.
Not even her name was true? Really? Now, Angela, you got me disbelieving you already, and I was sort of thinking I was maybe gonna side with you. I wasn't fucking sure yet. But nothing? I don't know that that's what I would lead with. I don't know, though. I'm never good at anything.
Through that whole conversation, and she actually didn't even read the petition correctly because a lot of things that she just said never happened, and she read it out of context. I am a university professor. I was a licensed pre-K through 12 instructor up until recently when all of this stuff started happening. I'm a mandated reporter. And so Michelle has had her children taken away from her because of abuse, and she does not have custody of any of her children. Her older 2 kids just recently started seeing her for the summer break. But yes, I will. The only thing that I can agree with is that a lot of stuff happens because of the fence. So before I hardscaped my garden, as you can read in my statement, Michelle would take her garbage can and pile a bunch of sticks in my yard almost every week. And this went on for months on end, months on end, months on end. And it's extremely irritating. And she does it because she knows that it gets to me. I have never spoken to her since a year ago. I don't even know where she comes up with that story. I have never tried to attack a child. Matter of fact, we used to be on speaking terms. And then there was a lot of stuff going on next door. The police are always there. The reason that I have access to a lot of information is because I'm friends with all the neighbors and they tell me a lot of stuff. And so that's where I get my information. My camera is not directed at her driveway. I have the camera turned as far as I can on, it's a door cam, it's my door cam. And I have it turned as far on towards the house that it will possibly go. But the door cam will move when it picks up movement. I don't have any control over that. And some of the evidence that I have that I've provided, I have contacted the sheriffs in the past over her frequency of visitors that she had. As I explained, there was a time when she broke up with her boyfriend that she had a different gentleman visit her every single day for weeks on end. And she also admitted to some of the neighbors that she was hooking for different things. So that's where I got that information from everybody talking about it. And it was the sheriff and my attorney who advised me to collect the evidence because they can't arrest her based on having multiple partners. They needed more evidence than that. So that's that. So as far as her behavior, she is the one that's aggressive towards me. She does things to purposely taunt me to try to get me to react so she can entrap me. She does this every day with her trash can, with her yard. I'll give you a couple of examples. So when the final court date for the criminal trespass happened and I entered into the contract, I came home that afternoon and Michelle was piling up a whole bunch of garbage, random garbage, spare tires, different weird stuff, and put it all in the front right next to my rock wall. And then I saw her kicking my fence. So that was a little strange. It's interesting that she even filed this order to begin with, because if you notice the date of when she filed and when we had our final inspection, that was on June 3rd. She filed it on June 5th. And I don't have any control over what the managers do. I don't know why she thinks that I'm doing it. We have rules, very strict rules at our community that we have to follow. And Michelle also has mental health issues. She's been to the psych ward at least 5 times since I've been there. And there is records of that. As far as me being aggressive towards her children, I have no.
Rude, ma'am. What the fuck is she doing? Also, by the way, we're still doing Just Water July, which for Paisley means no added sugar. Only the chemicals, baby. Somebody at work asked me, they're like, what? How could you drink this? Aren't you worried about the chemicals? No, bitch. I'm not worried about the chemicals. I'm worried about the sugar. I'm addicted to the sugar. Anyways, I'm still eating sugar. Let's be clear. I'm not about to quit it cold turkey. But I'm not drinking it. Anyways, this sounds like the worst neighbor to have in the world. They both do. It sounds like a misery train. Ew. Gross. I would hate it. I literally stand out on my balcony. I can see out on my deck right now. I can see nobody. Nobody. I can hear cars, but I can see nobody. I can play my music loud. I can be naked out on the deck. Not a single person. I don't know their name. If they're watching, they ain't saying nothing.
Clue where she even comes up with that. Matter of fact, the first time she went to the psych ward, I helped a neighbor take care of the kids because she had like 8 kids over at her house and it was just a lot to handle. So she asked me to help out with that. I have no idea where she came up with, I tried to kidnap her son and I never tried to attack her. And as far as this particular case is concerned, I'm not understanding why we're re-going over last year's court case. She's just going over it again and again and fabricating new materials that never happened. I have never spoken to her. I have never been in her yard. And the thing about the parking and the garbage can, so she wants me to stay away from her. I want her to stay away from me. Yet she parks as close to my fence as she possibly can because I do a lot of gardening. I garden almost every day. And another example of how I feel like she's taunting me and retaliating, and trying to annoy me with her passive aggressive ways. So she hadn't mowed her yard, and I know that we can't make her mow her yard. It's irritating, but I understand that. But she'll let her weeds get to about 2 or 3 feet tall. And she hadn't mowed her yard for almost 2 months. And she finally mowed it last Sunday. And then she got served papers on Monday, and it was just odd that she had mowed her yard already. She had a supervised visitation that day with her younger child. And then after they all left, and I had been outside all day, she was inside. And so
what is the problem with what you just said? She didn't mow her lawn, and then she did before her child arrived for a visit. Angela, why don't you go fuck yourself? Seriously? I think you need to jam a couple fucking dicks down your throat for both people at this point. But seriously, Angela's pissing me off. The other lady pissed me off, but Angela's pissing me off too. Like, why are you looking out your window so much? Why are you in your garden so much? Garden all the day long? That's annoying. That's your own fault for being outside. Go inside. Imagine that. Close the doors. Shut the blinds. Imagine the peace you will have. Dumb bitch.
she comes out later and mows. She's like a foot away from me. She went back and forth a couple times and then went and put the lawnmower away. And so that's where I feel like she's just taunting me to get a reaction. She wants me to break my contract so that she can get me into trouble. I haven't done anything to her. I'm allowed to play music in my own yard. And her dogs have always been an issue. Her cats have always been an issue. So one of the biggest reasons that we built the fence was because of the dogs and the poop, and that her kids would keep leaving their toys and their stuff in my yard. And I would never say anything about it. We just let it sit there for days on end and no one would ever come and pick it up. And so that's extremely annoying. Anytime that you try to tell her, or if I try to, or a neighbor tries to kindly approach her and say, hey, this is going on with your son, could you please like ask him to stop? And she says, oh, my son doesn't do that. But yet we watch him and we see it and we hear it. So, and then last weekend, I think it was like Friday or Saturday, I was sitting in the living room with my son. We heard some strange scratching noises. We opened the window and her cat is clawing at my screen and damaged it. Her cat comes into my yard almost every day.
And today, Your Honor, I would like a TPO from the cat. That's what I really need. Also, I'm going to sing now before I forget. So for Beverly and Courtney, I'm going to sing happy birthday because they're our dear friends. And I know there's more birthdays coming up. Christopher Engelby is going to be soon. Somebody else, Reseller Road Trip Adventures. So please remind me when it's your birthday. I love you all so much. But happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you too, happy birthday, dear Beverly and Courtney, happy birthday to you. And then MB, you made me laugh in the middle, restrain the pussy, never restrain the pussy, unleash the pussy. That is my motto in life, unleash the pussy. Imagine what my neighbors think. I don't care. Happy birthday, girls. I love you.
It's extremely annoying. Since I've had to pick up their poop for so many years, I just get really agitated. And then her dog that she has staying there now, she always has a different animal all the time. But this new dog that she has, I've seen it off the leash like 4 times. 2 different times just recently in the last couple of weeks, it's come on my property. One day it was running away from Nolan and came up on my porch and jumped on me. And so,
Ms. Edwards, I'm going to ask you to take a couple minutes and wrap it up, okay?
all right. So there's that. And then that's what I'm saying. I'm the one that I feel like I'm being harassed, and she taunts me over and over. She does passive aggressive things all the time. And if you look at her record, she's just like filing civil protection orders left and right. I haven't done anything to her. As far as attacking her, that's all lies. Like I said, everything that she said today was a misallegation and a lie. She fabricates things. But if I'm on a contract for the items that happened last year, that's done and dealt with. I haven't done anything to her. I haven't been in her yard. I haven't spoken to her. I have not spoken to her children. And I explained that one time of what happened when Cyrus was calling out to me. So, and I don't know how she expects me to understand state workers or whatever that, I don't even understand what all of that means, but how am I supposed to know who a state worker is and what the laws and rules are against that? I don't understand that. But Michelle is very unpredictable. She has manic episodes very regularly. It often gets the police are called, the neighbors are involved because everybody's outside. She disrupts a lot of myself and the neighbors. Again, I have never been aggressive towards her children. They don't even live with her, like I said. So she lied on her petition order that they live with her because they don't. And it's, yeah, everything is annoying. She just taunts me and taunts me and taunts me. And I heard the earlier case.
All right, Ms. Edwards, I think you're starting to repeat yourself. You've said all these things before. So if that's all, then I'm going to go ahead and give a decision to you for both of these petitions. All right. So in both.
Oops, before we say goodnight, and we're doing so great for time, I'm so glad to be here with you and know you all are mine. No, seriously, what do you think happens? Is it granted, denied? What will happen here in this case? Get your guesses in the chat. In the chat. By the way, I had to light the barbecue for the man of the house who couldn't light the barbecue himself. If anybody wants to laugh about that. Oh, the bag of cheesies is being opened, by the way. Anyways, I think you guys are probably right. All these big D's, denials, denied times 2. Also, if you didn't notice, members only tomorrow morning, already scheduled. Can't get out of it. Already scheduled. Can't get out of it. 10 a.m. tomorrow, I think.
Both matters. I mean, it's kind of similar. I'm hearing allegations about conduct between neighbors that's annoying and, you know, difficult and maybe unkind, but I'm not hearing anything that I can credibly find constitutes a course of conduct that's harassment in either case. I mean, your neighbors, obviously have some friction in your relationship, and I can tell by the nature of the allegations made in the petition that, these things are annoying, but I certainly can't find that these are courses of conduct that are harassing toward the other. Just neither one of you have demonstrated by preponderance of the evidence that harassment has occurred. So in each petition, I'm going to deny the petition for anti-harassment orders.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Not really surprised at all.
And
Denials
the court
across the
clerk will
board
send you
today.
written copies of those orders later today.
They should really grow up. That's actually going to be it for us, you guys. He sits and does the paperwork for 3 minutes. They sit in silence. I sat in silence watching them. And then he moves on to the next case, which we're not going to watch right now, and they leave without saying a word. Think I'm wrong? Prove me wrong. Anyways, I hope that you guys have a wonderful evening tonight. Like I said, 10 a.m. tomorrow, Pacific time. We will be back at it again. What will I be wearing? I don't know. I really don't know. Is that a scratch? Why am I scratched? Oh my god. My beautiful skin. My god. Happy birthday to Beverly, to Courtney, to all of our friends. I love you guys so much. MB, love to see you. Glad for your comment. Really made me smile this morning. Thinking of getting you through yesterday. We'll be back at it again. That's twice tomorrow, folks. 2 times. I know I said that we were going to do it today. And then somebody told me that we had a guest coming. And guess whose guest didn't guest? Anyways, regardless, the house is clean. That feels so good. And I'm still drinking water. No panties any day, Jonathan. No panties tomorrow, no panties today, no panties right now, baby. Do me a favor, remember that I love you, and I'm proud of you, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye.
Down and ready to ride.